Well, it's now time for the next Gen Eagles. This team preparing for this display of one of the most tightly choreographed two-ship performances that you'll see any place, honoring the legacy of the famed aerobatic squad such as the Iron Eagles and the Eagle aerobatic teams. The next Gen Eagles have been cleared next into the aerobatic box. Ladies and gentlemen, look high and overhead for the world's only Christen Eagle aerobatic team. I present to you the next Gen Eagles. Completing the formation loop is wingman Tom Bramer maintains that very precise position on the right wing of leader Leland Kratcher. They're going to work their way around now for one of the most demanding formation maneuvers to fly. It's called the line abreast loop as they look side by side, looking 90 degrees at one another as they perform not one, but two vertical loops at show center. Completing the most challenging double line abreast loop. A big round of applause for the next Gen Eagles. We watch now as they wing over back towards the center of our aerobatic airspace. Leland Kratcher is the leader of the next Gen Eagles aerobatic team. He's a first-generation pilot, took his first flight lesson when he was just 13 years old and soloed on his 16th. His grandfather took him to his first air show at 3 years old, and he never looked back. After countless hours honing his skills on Microsoft Flight Simulator as the flight lead of a Christen Eagle team flying virtual air shows, he's turned those dreams into reality with this, one of the most impressive two-ship formation teams on the circuit. Tom, growing up in an aviation family, was immersed with watching airplanes at his local airport, assisting his dad in building kit-built aircraft as well. He soloed at 16, bought a Pitts Special, and at just 21 years old began flying competition aerobatics, competing in everything from primary to advanced. In 2015, he was indeed the intermediate national champion. We watch now as the two-ship formation approaches once again from the right as they set up for this maneuver that we call the barber pole. Tom Bramer working his way all the way around. Leland Kratcher in the lead. Let's give it up and make some noise for the next Gen Eagles. One of the hardest parts of formation flying is putting it all together. The next Gen Eagles rely on iFly EFB for every cross-country flight, making planning effortless and navigation safe and intuitive. From quick route setup and real-time weather overlays to flight plan briefings and checklists, it's all at their fingertips. Plus, their EFB X7 aviation tablet won't quit. quit in the heat. See iFly EFB for yourself, located this week at Hangar C, booth 3052. Let's observe now as the formation approaches high and to the left as they reposition for the second half of this exacting and colorful formation routine. Leland in the lead, Tom on simultaneous hammerhead turnaround. Leland Cratcher in Eagle number 1 to the left, Tom Bramer in Eagle number 2 to the right. As they approach show center at some 350 miles an hour closure, let's watch for the next gen Eagle opposition pass. The Kristen Eagle, designed in the 1970s by Frank Christensen, who managed the U.S. aerobatic team, going on to win the 1972 World Championships. The Eagle biplane weighs in at just about 1,000 pounds, and coupled with some 250-plus horsepower, enables for both precision and gyroscopic maneuvering. Working their way back in again from the left and right, cameras at the ready for the opposition knife edge pass. Leland Cratcher to our left, looking out from the inverted position now as he completes 2 points of a 4-point hesitation roll back to upright, completing the 1/2 Cuban 8 maneuver. We watch now for Tom Bramer in Eagle number 2 as he performs this, the classic torque roll. Gyroscopic flight perfect for these bright paint schemes on these Kristen Eagle aircraft. Watch now as Leland from the right performs a maneuver called the Lumpshavak. Leland and Tom would like to take this moment to thank each and every one of you for coming out on this beautiful day, and of course to their incredible sponsors that support them. They'd like to say thanks to Lift Aviation, the leaders in aircraft safety and innovation, and iFly EFB, navigating the team from show to show. They also want to thank Lycoming Engines, Softy Parachutes, Hooker Harness, Lycon, Tempest Aero Groups, and North Texas Aeronautics. They also want to say thanks to Cornerstone Staffing, their title partner. Learn more about the Next Gen Eagles and their sponsors on social media at the Next Gen Eagles or on their website at thenextgeneagles.com. We are seeing some incredible flying by these two aviators. Let's again put our hands together for the Next Gen Eagles. The team will now set up for their last and final flyby, their signature photo pass. Get your cameras ready as they come by, flying side by side in opposition knife edge flight, symbolizing an eagle in flight. From the right, presenting the 2025 Next Gen Eagles aerobatic team. My name is Luke Carrico, and it has indeed been a great pleasure to present to you today's performance by the Next Gen Eagles aerobatic team, and they thank you for your attention and your enthusiasm. And as they complete their performance for the first time here in the skies of Oshkosh, I hope you'll join me in one final round of applause for Leland Kratcher and Tom Bramers, the Next Gen Eagles.
And Luke, we have so much more action coming up in just a few moments. It's going to be my honor to talk to Greg Kuntz. And let me tell you, he likes to steal my job, as he will be talking to all of you right here in Oshkosh throughout his entire demonstration in the Super Decathlon. Now, if you're interested in flying, if you are interested in aerobatics, this will be an act you don't want to miss. Greg has a bed and breakfast in Alabama, along with his flight school, where you can go enjoy some time with him and learn advanced aerobatic maneuvers, basic aerobatic maneuvers, and build up the confidence and the fun and flying. And of course, if you're interested and you're here on the grounds, please stop by IAC, that's the International Aerobatic Club. It is a great opportunity to speak with some of our performers, along with the many competition pilots that are out here with us. And I see taxiing out right now. If you're looking at the runway all the way down to the left-hand side, we have Greg Kuntz coming up in the Super Decathlon. And our Next Gen team coming in. Be sure, if you can see them, give them a wave and welcome them back. What an incredible performance.
You know, Brittany, this is a fairly new team, so I hope that you'll give them a very big cheer as the engines come to a stop. Greg Kuntz is now on the roll.
And here we go. Greg Kuntz taken to the skies, little puffs of smoke happening. And in just a moment, I bet he's gonna knock in my ear and want to talk to all of you as he goes upside down. Brings it down, level wings, demonstrating the maneuverability of the Super Decathlon and the aerobatic flying. You will hear a lot of yeehaws coming from this man in just a moment as he shakes things loose, tightens up the harnesses, and gets ready to showcase the aerobatic maneuvers of the Super Decathlon. Hey, Greg, you have Brittany today.
I love it.
Greg, tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see.
Just wild and crazy. A lot of people like to compete with these airplanes, and they're very good for that. Very versatile and nice airplane for it. So everything's super precise and straight, and that's cool. I like that. But I like to play with the airplane. It's a fun machine to me. So I'm gonna demonstrate today. I'm trying to do all that other stuff. I'm gonna show you how to have fun with a Super Decathlon. You go, I think you like it. I know I love it because I get to do it.
I think that deserves a yeehaw, sir, as we see you coming in hot right now.
Absolutely. All right, come from right. And this is going to be the Super Decathlon, the play toy.
The smoke is looking beautiful as you roll on in, building up some airspeed, sir.
Oh, yeah. So let's start out with an avalanche, or an apple top of the roof, whatever you want to call it. Here we go for that. All right, we're going to turn around with a hammerhead, and then we're going to come back and do a different kind of roll on top of it. So here's my little come around though. up for a hammerhead.
My favorite maneuver.
Well, mine too, it really is. I don't know why. It's just cool. Looking at the ground at the end of it, it's always exciting. All right, here we go. Set up for just a slow roll on top of it to show off the aileron control this airplane has with the newer wing they put on a number of years ago. He just does a cute little roll right across the top. Here we go. And up for a Humpty turnaround.
And the turnaround, your capability to maneuver yourself back to the center of the aerobatic box, correct?
Yeah, some quick way to turn around. It doesn't use a lot of space. You get right back in the middle. And I'm going to do it again, man. I'll do one pointed the other way. Everybody see the back of the airplane. And we'll stop it. Flop it over just right there. Straighten it back out on the axis there. So, and we're going to go into what's called a reverse Cuban. Another good turnaround maneuver.
Now you said Cuban, is that our figure 8 in the sky?
Yeah, this is kind of like one half of it. All right, coming back in, let's do a all Cuban 8 this time, all right? That'd be good. All right, right off the deck, here comes the old Cuban 8, the whole thing. And it's for about 4 G's. Open it up nicely, so it'll come out a bit around at the top. And 45 down, and then hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And roll it out. And miss the ground and up to the other side.
You just sound like you are having the time of your life, Greg.
You know, I wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun like this. It's just, I love to fly. Just to get to do this at the best air show in the whole world. Yeah, man, I love it.
So many smiles down here watching you demonstrate the aerobatics of the Super Decathlon.
Okay, coming back in. Do a little turnaround on this one. Whether this is the good one you like too, a hammerhead.
Now, Greg, I see some people on the runway with a ribbon.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I can't allow that. I'll run them off.
Having a little bit more fun upside down. Give him a wave, Oshkosh. He is concentrating hard. Take a look, there's a ribbon right in the middle, and he is going to slice right through it. We were so busy talking.
Hey, don't put a ribbon out there as a target for me again out here on DU that.
A good old guarantee, sir, and you slice that ribbon upside down.
Yep, absolutely. I don't think it's much good with it anymore. I think it's used up. All right, coming back around, we'll do the last half of my Greg's having a good time. I hope everybody else is performance. And this time we're going to do a, let's see, let's start out with my little Humpty with Surprise. I know my Humpties today so far, but this will be, I call the Humpty with Surprise in it. Got kind of a little outside kind of snappy thing we're going to do. Here we go. Let's do all this stuff. Picking up speed.
As I told you, he loves doing my job. You are hearing live from Greg Kuntz in the cockpit while he is flying.
Going up for Humpty.
Talking us through every maneuver.
Here's the Humpty.
This is when you can wave. Hey, Greg.
Holy moly!
Whoa. Greg, we were talking a little bit about your bed and breakfast.
Yeah, it's kind of a bed and breakfast aerobatic school. So you come, take your training, and I'll feed you, we'll just hang out, kind of absorb the whole thing into what we're doing all at once there. It's a fun way to do it. And good learning experience so that you really immerse yourself into the training. Been doing it for about 40 years now. It seems to work. Here we go. Nice big old orange storm balloon. And coming out of that.
I think we're gonna call it the Hammerhead and Hamburgers at the Airbnb, or your bed and breakfast.
Well, it is really an upside tunnel. It almost looks like an upside tunnel. Here we go.
Having so much fun, as you can hear it. Yes, learning aerobatics is exciting and fun.
Whatever you want to name that one, I just did one of them.
That was a whirly, if I ever saw it, Greg. I love that.
All right, here it comes up again. All right, coming back for the multi-roll. Nice new style ailerons of this airplane. Really make rolls a blessing. I really love them. Here we go.
Love the roll rate, Greg.
Yeah, me too. Isn't it nice? All right, we're going to come back and do the kind of the say goodbye inverted pass.
The inverted pass, a great opportunity to have your cameras ready. As Greg comes back down, upside down, this is a great photo opportunity. Once again, Greg Kuntz. Giving us a wave. Oh, we are waving back at you.
All right, come on. Switch the directions on the runway, put this thing on the ground, and let's see, who's next? I think it has some pretty cool stuff today.
That we do, sir. Excellent performance. Thank you for talking us through the aerobatics and the maneuverability of your super decathlon. Well done.
Thank you. Hey, let's do this again.
That we will. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in learning aerobatics, his flight school, you can check him out at gkairshows.com. That's Greg Kuntz. And as he sets up on final right now, we are going to get things turned over in just a moment as we see our pits out there getting ready at Folds of Honor. Our ribbon team, our pole holders, making their way back in. Well done, pole holders. You did a great job as they carry the ribbon across the taxiway. We have Greg touchdown. Give him a wave as he taxis back in. Once again, I'm Air Show announcer Brittany. It's been exciting announcing with Greg. Our entire team is excited to be here with you, sharing the stories from the sky. And Steve, we have more coming up.
We certainly do. We'd like to recognize Daher as our sponsor of the daily afternoon air shows. Daher, thank you for helping make this possible. Yes, Brittany, you are right. We have much more to come. Ed Hamster Hamill, who has not been at Oshkosh for a number of years, saw him fly probably about 10, 15 years ago, and we're glad to have him back. He's coming up in just a moment. Jeff Bourbon is coming. The C-17 is going to do a little demonstration for us. The one and only Bill Stein is on the schedule for later this afternoon. Greg Collier and the Acemaker T-33, Bob Carlton, the Titan Aerobatic Team, Redline Aerobatics, and the U.S. Air Force F-22 demo and the Heritage Flight will close out our Monday afternoon edition of the Daily Air Show. And so glad to have you here at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2025. Let's take a show of hands. How many have been here before? All right, and how many? Is this your first time? we got one guy in a green shirt over here who's his first one. Oh, and our C-17 demo narrator, first time here at Oshkosh. Well, Ed's getting ready to go. A little smoke on. We'll turn things over to Ed Hamill.
Freedom is not free.
Freedom is not free.
Freedom is not free.
That's my family. And this is Ed Hamill. And today, I'm flying the Folds of Honor biplane, presented by Discount Tire. I've got my family here today, my wife Jody, my son David, my daughter Angie. They're helping out with the narration and coordination of the show. Before I fly high, I'm gonna fly low and show you the beautiful red, white, and blue colors of the Folds of Honor biplane. Hey David, why don't you tell us about the mission at Folds of Honor?
The mission at Folds of Honor has never wavered. Honor their sacrifice, educate their legacy. The team at Folds of Honor is committed to leaving no military or first responder family behind on the field of battle or here at home. The real return on our investment for us is serving these heroic families.
That is awesome, David. Thanks for that info, and what a great mission. While military and first responders sacrifice, let's remember the families that support them. Folds of Honor gives way more than a scholarship. They provide a life-changing education. This is where sacrifice meets hope. So look up as I skydance in the Folds of Honor biplane and enjoy the show as we celebrate the American family, the foundation of this great nation of ours. Now that I've warmed up, checked my engine, and tightened my seatbelt, it's time to rock and roll.
So Angie, what did you think of that intro?
Incredible!
That was a little overdone, but I'll take it.
All right, Dad, enough of that talking. Let's see some sky dancing in that Folds of Honor biplane.
That's my son, David. He likes good airshow flying, but he loves the mission of Folds of Honor. Let's turn it up. That's what I'm talking about.
Incredible.
In all your talking, you didn't even mention that you have 30 years in the Air Force flying F-16s and combat time. I'm very proud of you, Dad, and I am so very happy that you are flying the Folds of Honor biplane.
Let's go! Oh yeah, that's my daughter Angie. And she knows that we, the people, make up this great nation of ours. As we barnstorm our way across America, we got nothing to prove and everything to give back. Let's help Folds of Honor give back to the military and first responder families that have given us so much.
Yeah, Dad, now that's what I'm talking about. You know, I do love some good airshow flying, but I love my country even more.
Well said, David. It is about God, family, country, and of course, the biplane, with no apologies.
Well, all that biplane stuff is pretty cool. Let's not forget that since 2007, Folds of Honor has given over 62,000 scholarships worth over $290 million. With your help and the help of Folds of Honor, we are able to come together as a resilient nation. And remember, this is where sacrifice meets hope.
biplane. I love fabric-covered wings, fly wires, a roaring engine. It represents the freedom we all have in this great land of ours. Whether it's David's tumble, Angie's loop, Bruiser snap rolls, Klepto's corner, or Trojan's torque roll, each maneuver honors the American family. God bless the USA.
Thank you for watching today. If you want to learn more, you can visit edhamel.com. There, you can click on the donate button, which takes you to foldsofhonor.org, where for just $13 a month, you can help provide a life-changing education for families of military and first responders.
Thanks, David. I'd like to thank Discount Tire for being presenting sponsor of the Folds of Honor biplane. And before I make my last pass, I'd like to thank my family, my wife Jody, my son David, and my daughter Angie. So from our family to yours, Godspeed and God bless the USA. Anything else you'd like to say, Angie?
Oh, we're actually recording.
Hey, thanks for watching today. Angie, take it away.
And now for something completely different. Look to your right, if you will, coming in. On schedule is the Rockwell B-1B. And we're going to play a little music for you by George Thorogood and the Destroyers. It goes back to when the aircraft was first presented. A lot of reporters were on the scene. And a reporter had his little notebook, and he wrote B-O-N-E. When he got back to transcribe his story, he wrote the story and he used the term bone. Hit the music, Jimmy. And if George Thorogood didn't write the music for this airplane, he should have. Since that time, the crews that fly them, the crews that work on them, refer to the B-1B as the bone. It is swing wing, full forward 15 degrees, full aft way back in the Delta at 67 degrees. From the original 100, we went down to 93. It has been reduced to 60. And now the publications around the world say that there are 43 still flying. Predecessor, North American Aviation became Rockwell. So in the history, the P-25 has some history in this airplane. The T-6 Texan, the P-51 Mustang, now, keep your eyes and ears on the B-1B. It's going to circle off behind us, come back over the top of the field as it climbs up to 20,000 feet. Currently, the aircraft is projected to have a lifespan up to the year 2038. And that could change. It has a very sophisticated map of the Earth autopilot. It follows the contour, flying just above an ocean, and then a shoreline, and a prescribed number of feet, then up a mountain, down low, under the radar, then over the top of the mountain, down the backside, throttles come back, nose goes down, autopilot takes over. When the crews get to the destination, the crew of 4, they are fresh for the mission. Crew of 4 is the aircraft commander, the co-pilot, the offensive systems officer, and the defensive systems officer. And we see that swing wing design in our history. Well, the star of the original Top Gun movie was the F-14 Tomcat, a swing wing design. Back prior to that, the FB-111 Aardvark, also a swing wing aircraft. For high weight, takeoffs, the wings come full forward for the maximum lift. And then to get the speed out of the B-1B, they come back in almost a delta configuration, way back to 67.5 degrees.
And Danny Clisham, the B-1 Lancer that we just had the chance to see. In fact, with the call sign of Thunder 1-1. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as the B-1 clears, I want you to look high and overhead as we make things fast and furious with our next air show performer. And his name is Jeff Bourbon, flying the incredible Extra 330 SC, beginning his performance with a maneuver he likes to call the Blender. Take a look now with a series of vertical rolls as he goes into a flat spin, capping it off on the top. And now goes through a series of vertical down rolls and ending with a flat spin on the way back down. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our Monday show here at AirVenture, Jeff Bourbon and the Extra 330 SC. He'll recover to the inverted position as we now prepare for this power aerobatic routine in this airplane designed in Germany by Walter Extra. Jeff Bourbon, a remarkable aviator with over 20 years of air show flying experience. His journey in aerobatic flight and the world of air shows began back in 2003 when he flew a pit special, an S1S, setting the stage for a career marked by innovation, dedication, and unparalleled showmanship. In addition to being an aerobatic competitor, he's an air show performer as well, flying a variety of different airplanes from the Extra, previously the Jet Waco. It is the guy in charge of the Yak 110, owned by our friends at Pacific Air Show. We're going to watch now Jeff Bourbon into the vertical once again as he pulls up into the inverted position. Going in for a forward Indo tumble, going nose for tail, stopping it upside down. And look at the quick roll rates, the 2 points of the 4-point hesitation roll back to upright flight. 2011 was Jeff's first ever appearance here in the skies over AirVenture following his victory at the 2010 U.S. National Aerobatic Unlimited Championships. In 2012, he joined forces with John Klatt as a wingman for the Air National Guard aerobatic team, and later went on to fly the Jack Link Screamin' Sasquatch, better known as the Jet Waco, a groundbreaking aircraft introduced in 2014. Jeff playing a pivotal role in developing that air show sequence and performed with it for several years. Watch as the smoke comes off, backing it up now. Watch for the tail slide. There's about 20, 30, 40 miles an hour in reverse, and there's the whip stall back to inverted recovery. Jeff Bourbon and the Extra 330 SC. At the 2023 Pacific Air Show Gold Coast, Jeff honored aviation legend Bob Hoover by shutting down both of his M14P radial engines in flight, feathering the props and performing a big loop and an 8-point roll, echoing Hoover's iconic maneuvers. Today, flying the Extra 330 SC, continuing to tear it up for us here today. He's going to take a quick breather, switch down those seat belts and shoulder harnesses, and check out all of his engine instruments, make sure they're all in the green. But judged by your round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, how do you like Jeff Bourbon so far? Jeff Bourbon, also a very strong participant with the International Aerobatic Club. He, of course, invites you to join IAC for the opportunity to network with other like-minded aviation and aerobatic enthusiasts, and, of course, to learn how to fly aerobatics yourself and do so safely and professionally. Diving back in from the right, there's about 220 miles an hour as he reaches the center of our aerobatic airspace. Watch him now as he performs this, a rolling loop maneuver, as he inscribes this big 360-degree loop while rolling the airplane to the left. Working the ailerons, the rudder, and the elevator all the way around three-dimensionally. How about a big round of applause, everybody, for Jeff Bourbon and the rolling loop. That's a very unique maneuver indeed. The Extra 330 SC still standing in as one of the most capable, unlimited aerobatic airplanes in the world today, and of course is flown by some of the world's unlimited aerobatic competitors. We're setting up for the second part of our show as Jeff Bourbon dives in high and to our left. In the aerobatic world, Jeff Bourbon exemplifies the qualities of a perfectionist, placing the highest priority in safety in every aspect of his flying. From his performances in the Jet Waco and even the Yak 110 have showcased his dedication to entertaining millions with precision and flair. Jeff is a big advocate for aerobatic flight and sharing aviation with just about everybody he can, especially the young enthusiasts out there, sharing his love for flying and inspiring the next generations of aviators. We're going to watch him now as he goes through a quick hammerhead turnaround, continuing all the way around into a maneuver he calls the pinwheel, and now dries on that 90-degree down line. Going into a bit of a torque roll right there as he continues to hold it on the prop of the Extra 330 SC. Diving back now. Watch now for the snap rolls. There's 1 and 2. Essentially a stall, a high-speed stall, if you will, of one wing. In aerobatic competitions, it's all about drawing those perfect 90-degree lines, those 45s, and the perfect loops and rolls. Airshow flying, it's all about doing it low level and entertainingly, and we are seeing it big time here for Jeff Bourbon. Let's again put our hands together for him. Jeff, of course, a surface-level aerobatic participant and also that of an aerobatic competency evaluator, or ACE, supporting the efforts of new airshow pilots working their way down in altitude as he now rolls the airplane to the left. Oh, that's gotta hurt. In a maneuver he calls the spin cycle. Take a look at that as he goes into a tumble into an inverted flat spin and recovers just about 300 feet above the ground. He wants to extend a big thanks to Lift Aviation, the provider of flying shoes and helmets, and also a big thanks to AcroWorks for bringing some new great telemetry technology to the aerobatic competition world. Coming by from the left, there's some knife edge flight, a great photo opportunity for your cameras, and this Extra 330 SC that he likes to call prime talent. Later throughout the week, this week, we'll have the chance to see Jeff Bourbon as he teams up with one of his teammates, that of Brent Lincoln, for our IAC demonstration that'll take place at other days throughout this great celebration of all things flight. But again, from the right, watch now as Jeff goes into knife edge flight, hanging it there on the rudder, and of course that Thunderbolt engine as well as he rolls the airplane, slowing it down. And even in relatively slow speed flight, the ability to draw those precise corners, that the mark of some incredible flying indeed. Jeff also wants to thank the International Aerobatic Club and, of course, the EAA for the incredible opportunity to fly for you here today. And also wants to give a big shout out to his friends at Pacific Air Show, completing his performance here at the Monday at AirVenture 2025. How about one final round of applause for Jeff Bourbon and the Extra 330 SC. Great flying indeed. Well, it is now time that we change up the pace as we've got more to come here as part of today's show. And as Jeff Bourbon touches down out in front of us in just a moment, we're going to be welcoming inbound to the airspace that of the United States Air Force's C-17 Globemaster III. Following that, Bill Stein joins us in the Edge 540, and we'll see Greg Colliard in the Ace Maker, the T-33 Shooting Star. At about 4:45, Bob Carlton joins us from Moriarty, New Mexico in the Fox Jet, the twin jet-powered Fox Glider. And at just shy of about 5 o'clock, the award-winning Titan aerobatic team takes flight here at AirVenture 2025. Team Redline is here. Ken and Austin Reeder in their Vans RV8s. And finally, at about 5:20 here today, the F-22 Raptor from Joint Base Langley Eustis and the 1st Fighter Wing and our U.S. Air Force Heritage Flight. It is now time for today's C-17 demonstration, and to tell you all about it, please welcome Captain Chuck Suarez.
Thanks, Luke. I appreciate it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Captain Chuck Suarez, and it is my pleasure this afternoon to describe for you today's flight demonstration by America's premier airlifter, the Boeing C-17 Glowmaster III. A short time ago, the C-17, operated by the East Coast Demo Team, performed a max effort takeoff from General Mitchell International Airport. Departure capabilities such as these allow the C-17 to operate out of hostile fields that are not suitable for other large aircraft. Let's watch as the C-17 flies in for AirVenture 25. The crew for today's demonstration is Captain Darren Gelson, call sign Slick, Lieutenant Colonel Tom Wagner, Captain Nate Schemmel, and your hometown gal, Staff Sergeant Jackie Marmolia. We are based at Joint Base Charleston, South Carolina. This highly experienced crew has a combined total of over 10,000 flight hours with 12 deployments in support of combat and humanitarian missions throughout the world. The C-17, affectionately known as the Moose, was responsible for airlifting the majority of over 120,000 evacuees from Afghanistan during Operation Allies Refuge. In addition to their combat deployments, members of the crew are specially qualified to conduct specialized night, low-level, and high-altitude operations in contested environments in support of the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff and President of the United States Special Operations missions. The crew will now perform a high-speed pass with the aircraft capable of accelerating to over 350 miles an hour. This pass demonstrates the extremely powerful engines of this magnificent jet. Approaching from your right, notice how quiet it is as it goes by show center. Gives operators tactical advantage while flying low over hostile territory and allows for more suitable operations at airfields near heavily populated cities. The C-17 made its first flight in September of 1991. Since then, the aircraft has set over 30 world records, including payload to altitude, time to climb, and the longest airdrop mission in history. The new age design includes a modernized, computerized glass cockpit, heads-up displays at both pilot stations, and advanced cargo handling system, allowing it to operate with a crew half the size of similar cargo aircraft. This reliable airlifter combines the intercontinental carrying capabilities of large aircraft, such as the C-5 Galaxy, with the short field end capabilities of the much smaller C-130 Hercules. The C-17 is powered by 4 Pratt & Whitney F-117 engines. Each engine delivers up to 40,000 pounds of thrust. This amount of thrust allows the Glowmaster III to carry over 170,000 pounds of cargo for an outstanding range of over 2,400 nautical miles without utilizing air-to-air refueling. The C-17 is also unique in the fact that it is the only aircraft in the world capable of deploying thrust reversers in flight, allowing us to achieve descent rates of over 15 to 20,000 feet per minute and rapidly slow in level flight in a matter of seconds. Now approaching from your left, the aircraft will perform a slow speed pass. During the pass, please notice the wing leading edge slats and large powered lift wing flaps. These devices literally change the shape of the wing and are key to its low final approach speed, enabling the aircraft to land and stop in very short distances. Ladies and gentlemen, please get your cameras ready, as this will be your best opportunity to take photos of this amazing state-of-the-art machine.
I'm waking up to action dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in, shaping up, then checking out all the prison bus. This is it, the
The C-17 will now maneuver for a circle over the airfield, showing its ability to fly at slow speeds and demonstrate its advanced aerodynamics in action. The aircraft uses a quadruple redundant fly-by-wire system for the operation of flight controls. This combined with 4 separate flight control computers, each capable of controlling the entire system independently. The system is designed to optimize the capabilities of the C-17, yet maintain enough redundancy to protect against a wide variety of failure conditions. Another feature of this amazing flight control system is the aircraft can also be flown in entirely mechanical backup mode, further safeguarding against abnormal situations. As the aircraft approaches from your right, please notice the upturned wingtips or winglets. These decrease aerodynamic drag and increase fuel economy. Now, to give you a better idea of the aircraft's overall size, the winglets are nearly 9 feet tall. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering how big the C-17 really is, the wingspan is roughly 170 feet. The tail is over 5 stories tall, and fully loaded, it weighs over 580,000 pounds. Now, none of our flying in the Air Force would be possible without our amazing maintainers and flying crew chiefs. The chiefs we have on our team today are Staff Sergeant Brendan Simmons and Senior Airman Juliet Motzinger. As you can see, the C-17 is extremely maneuverable at both high and low speeds, making it easy to operate in any tactical situation. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your C-17 East Coast Demo Team! The C-17 can fly anywhere in the world non-stop using its air-to-air refueling capability. Air Force personnel routinely fly 24-hour missions with a single crew. The most basic crew complement required to operate a C-17 is merely 2 pilots and 1 loadmaster. The heavy-duty landing gear allows it to land on surfaces such as cement, sand, dirt, and even ice. As a result of this, the C-17 has been in over 180 countries and literally every continent in the world since production began. Lastly, all current Air Force crews are trained in the use of night vision goggles, or NVGs, allowing them to operate while in unlit, austere situations around the globe. As the crew makes their final approach, the aircraft will be flying at just under 120 miles per hour. They are simulating arrival into a shortened airfield where hostile forces are present. This versatile tactic allows the C-17 to operate at over 6,000 more airfields worldwide than a commercial wide-body aircraft. Now the crew will demonstrate a very short landing distance of this steadfast airlifter using just over 1,000 feet of runway to bring the aircraft to a complete stop. The C-17 is currently demonstrating its ability to back on its own power, which gives it increased maneuverability while offloading cargo and capability to operate at smaller, unsupported fields. Give your C-17 East Coast infantry in the wave. Ladies and gentlemen, the crew is now accomplishing checklists to prepare for their max effort takeoff. This capability allows the C-17 to operate out of austere airfields that large aircraft of similar size are not able to accomplish. This maneuver will have the giant aircraft at an altitude of over 1,000 feet, well before the departure end of the runway. Let's watch as the C-17 takes off to depart the skies here at AirVenture 2025! Give it up for your United States 17 East Coast demo team! All the maneuvers you have seen here today are examples of those flown by our operational air crews on a regular basis, as they provide the highly responsible and flexible airlift capability for America. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's demonstration. On behalf of the men and women of the United States Air Force, Air Mobility Command, and Joint Base Charleston, we thank you for being with us today, and we hope you enjoyed this brief look at the C-17 Globemaster III, the United States Air Force's core airlifter and workhorse, which will continue to provide rapid global mobility for America today, tomorrow, and well into the 21st century.
Arriving is Bill Stein, high overhead, getting ready to do the knife edge spin. He'll lay the airplane on its side, one wing towards the sky, one wing towards the ground, laying on the fuselage with the airplane trying to turn inside of itself. Nobody does it tighter than the maestro, Bill Stein. We call this the Oshkosh Tornado. Get a load of this ride. Get ready for some wig singeing, hip shaking, bone conduction, industrial strength, unlimited aerobatics, and rock and roll. From the knife edge spin into a nickelator. Pull to the vertical, yaw right, yaw left. Forward stick to initiate a tumble at the top. Roll into the recovery, bringing the nose back up. Hang by the Hartzell prop and possibly a torque roll. It sounds impossible. There's Bill Stein doing it. Thank you to Softy Parachutes, Champion Aerospace, Hartzell Propellers, B&C Specialty Products, and Lycon. All right, now a version of a maneuver on top of a loop. You'll see a snap roll. You'll see a slow roll. Watch for Bill Stein, the coach's coach, to actually do a tumble. Watch the tail, watch the nose. Around he goes, back to upside down, and closing in on that loop. Give Bill Stein, the maestro, a big round of applause. He is the only active pilot who is the recipient of all three of the big awards, the Art Scholl Award, inducted into the Air Show Hall of Fame, and the Sword of Excellence. This is a maneuver called the Shark's Tooth, pulling straight up. It's not so much of an arch as it is an angle. With the torque of the engine, the Lycon engine, down on the 45-degree line, thereby drawing the Shark's Tooth in the sky. Watch for the slide winder. Now name the color of Bill's airplane. We're going to have a little contest to see who the winner is. And you may be the winner off the top, straight back down. That was called the spiraling tower under high G loads. This was the man who was a team leader, team member of the Collaborators, the Stars of Tomorrow, and the famed Red Baron Stearman Squadron. Bill grew up in the air show town of Ann Arbor, Michigan. His parents would take he and his 5 brothers to air shows. Bill was 9 years old in that town when he would go to air shows and see the likes of Captain Bill Barber, Professor Bob Lyjak, Captain Jim Minning, Eddie the Grip Green, our stunt man and wing walker, and Bob Barton. And he said at age 9, someday I will be that good. Someday I will be an air show star. And here he is today into knife edge flight, then a rotation, back to knife edge flight. Then a tumble, end over end double, the gyroscopic maneuver. Have you discovered the color of Bill's airplane yet? We'd also like to thank Goodyear, Flight Custom 3 Aviation Tires, CJ Avionics, our buddies at Concord, and thank you to Sporty's Spare Shop for the Sporty's Pilot Shop for the use of the PJ2 that has headset jack. Man, that is too cool. All right, now watch Bill. As he sets up a series of maneuvers to be able to have everybody in the audience enjoy it. This is called the dinks, end over end maneuver. Kick left, kick right, push the stick forward and go end over end. One more for the folks down on the south side, and he wound it up even greater. Now off on the right. He's going to force the airplane around. It's going to shudder. It's going to shake as he draws a portion of a loop, the tiniest loop in the sky. Now, without hesitation and their much grueling punishment, the centrifuge. Pull up to a 30-degree angle in relation to the riser. Roll inverted. Multiple revolutions of a shoulder roll. And now a very aeronautical scientific maneuver. It's called the Momback. He's going to go into a torque roll on the way up. All the speed will be dissipated. Gravity will take over. He will push in on the clutch, shift into reverse. The airplane will twist through the torque of the Lycon engine and the Hartzell prop and Bill Stein. Come on back, Bill. Come on back. Keep her straight. Come on back. Keep coming. Come on back. Come on back. Okay, you're clear. Now Bill's going to come in for all you folks who haven't made your decision on the color of Bill's airplane. He's going to slow the airplane down. Can you check the color? Then he's going to speed it up. Then he's going to slow it down. Somebody's going to be the winner. Now off on your right, the scourge of all of us still trying to tie neckties. Still can't get it right. Bill's going to do the necktie in the sky. He's got it around his collar. Okay, he's going to put it through the hoop. Down, straight down. Tighten up the knot. His is perfect. My skinny one is longer than the fat one. I got to start all over again. Now, I told you about Bill's awards. This is the Triple Crown Jewel Loop. Bill won't brag about it, but I will. On top, it is the Art Scholl Award, the Hall of Fame induction, and the Sword of Excellence. He is the only active air show pilot with all three of those awards. And yes, you can give Bill Stein a big round of applause for that. Now an Immelman turnoff to your left. He's going to do a maneuver invented by Wayne Handley, the maestro himself. It's called the Whoo-Ee Tumble, W-H-O-O-E-E. The Wayne Handley ostentatious order of enormous egos, of which every air show pilot is a mandatory member. He'll pull to the 45-degree angle, roll left, yaw right, then at 85 knots. While continuing to roll, use the left rudder. To yaw left, push the nose down to induce an end-over-end tumble, and that one stolen, nope, we'll say borrowed, from the maestro himself, Wayne Edwin Handley. Now the turnaround maneuver, again for altitude, change of direction and an increase in speed. It's known as the vertical reverse in the United Kingdom. It's called the hammerhead in the U.S. He will fly now upside down. You get another view of your choice of colors. Time to make your decision. Now from the inverted flight position, pulling up and going off angle just a little bit. Gaining altitude. He'll be coming back around. He has studied the winds up at his altitude, and with the power of his airplane, the Hartzell propeller, the Lycon engine, the Edge 540, but mostly Bill Stein, he's going to try to park the airplane. Airplanes like Bill should not be able to do this. It's the skill of the pilot pulling all those other factors together. Bill Stein, the blue sky is for loading and unloading, no parking. Congratulations to Goodyear. 100 years of excellence. Goodyear custom flight-free general aviation tires, because every landing counts. Bill Stein loves his audience, and I have to tell you this, he's going to take a selfie. Now, how's he going to do that parallel to the runway? Well, as he comes in from your right, he's going to kick hard rudder. He's got his telephone camera showing a picture of him and you in the background. So everybody to the south. Okay, smile. Bill's got that one. All right, going to kick hard right rudder again. Get the folks in the middle. Smile. Clicking off another bit. And down at the end, everybody gets their photo taken. All right, the winner of the name, the color of Bill's airplane is, if you said it was gold, you're the winner. But if you said blue, you're the winner. Purple is a winner, green, yellow, pink, red, and orange. It is the only airplane in the entire world painted with an ever-changing paint scheme that counts on sun intensity and sun angles to change the color in the sky. And by the way, they price that paint per ounce. It comes at a very dear price, hence the only one. Bill Stein will be back throughout the course of the week. We'd like to thank all of his sponsors as we continue with Ace Maker and Greg Collier.
Yes, indeed. Greg Collier and the T-33 coming up here in just a little bit, and Rob Lowe will be telling you all about that. Bob Carlton still to come, the award-winning Titan aerobatic team, Team Redline, and the U.S. Air Force F-22 Raptor demo, and the U.S. Air Force Heritage Flight. We again want to say thanks to our friends at Daher, the sponsor of the daily air shows here at AirVenture. We'd also like to extend a big thank you to Sporties for their continued support of the Young Eagles flight plan. In addition, Sporties proudly supports Young Eagles workshops and chapters, as well as the Flying Start Eagle Flight Program. Thanks also to Aircraft Spruce and Specialty. They have everything for planes and pilots. EAA thanks Aircraft Spruce for their sponsorship of Exhibit Hangar A, Home Builders Hangar, EAA Webinars, and the Workshops Plaza. Well, it is now time for the T-33. Rob Lowe, take it away.
Well, thanks, Luke. Everybody, if you'll direct your attention to the runways, you face the runway coming from the left. This is Mr. Greg Collier, call sign Wired, Ace Maker Air Shows in the T-33 Shooting Star. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Greg climbs out high into your right, he'll bring that beautiful aircraft back in for you to get a bunch of really good looks at this afternoon. Ace Maker Air Shows will showcase the maximum performance and graceful beauty of the Shooting Star. This is America's first operational jet fighter and trainer. You know, it was produced by the Lockheed Corporation and made its first flight in 1948. As Greg continues to turn high and to your right, the T-33 was developed from the Lockheed P-80 or F-80. It was used by the United States Air Force and the United States Navy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look closely as Greg brings this beautiful, graceful aircraft back in from your right. He's continuing to turn. He will come from your right to your left. Greg campaigns this beautiful T-33 all across the air show circuit, all across our nation. It's a beautiful example. It's very historic. Right here from the right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ace Maker Air Shows. Now, the original aircraft started with the XP-80. It was a contract from General Hap Arnold, in June of '43. 123 men, 23 engineers, and 105 shop workers spent 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, building the first XP-80. The head designer was none other than the famed Clarence L. Kelly Johnson. One of Kelly Johnson's original first aircraft that went on to become the Skunk Works with Lockheed and all the aircraft we know from there. After only 203 days from the contract to the first XP-80 lifting off the dry lake bed. Now, if you look directly overhead, Greg is entering the pattern from back over your left shoulder as he begins a left turn here. Watch, ladies and gentlemen, as he shows you the beautiful grace that is this T-33 Shooting Star. Now, almost 6,000 of these aircraft were built, including 649 for the Navy, 1,058 for foreign air forces, and Canadair actually built 656 Mark Mk3s under license, and Kawasaki in Japan built over 200. Now, while the T-33 was the trainer version, the fighter version did see first jet-to-jet aerial combat. And it took place between a P-80 and a MiG-15 in Northwest Korea in an area we all know as MiG Alley. This aircraft became a very stable training platform. You can see the tandem seating in the beautiful silver aircraft as it moves from your right to your left, and Greg begins to turn around high and to your left. It's a very stable training platform for years for the United States Air Force and the Navy. It eventually was replaced. Frontline pilot training in the 60s, the T-37 Tweet and the Northrop T-38 Talon began to replace it for undergraduate pilot training. Watch here as Greg continues to circle over to your right, the beautiful T-33 Shooting Star. Now, while Greg turns high and to the right, Greg is the owner and founder of AceMaker Aviation. He's a native Californian. He took his first flight at age 7. He was hooked on flying, and he got his license in 1982 while serving with the U.S. Army, which he served up until 1987. After leaving the service, he worked keeping the skies safe for 27 years with the FAA as an air traffic controller. Now retired, Greg campaigns this beautiful aircraft along with other similar aircraft, not just at air shows, but he flies a lot of dissimilar air combat training with the United States Department of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is from the right. Get your cameras out. This is Greg Collier, AceMaker Air Shows, and the T-33. Now, in addition to air shows, Greg instructs at Edwards Air Force Base Test Pilot School and the United States Navy Test Pilot School at NAS Patuxent River, Maryland. Greg is a multi-time Ironman and spends his free time when not around airplanes, cycling and enjoying motorcycles. Greg would like to thank his sponsors that help him get down the road through the air show season and have helped him come to us here at AirVenture 2025. Those include Concord Batteries, Strong Parachutes, Wheelan Lighting, and Jim and Airtronics, all for their continued support of AceMaker Aviation. Now, you might ask why Greg is flying the T-33. Well, it goes back to his childhood love for airplanes, and his favorite aircraft as a kid was the Lockheed Shooting Star, America's first operational jet fighter and trainer. And as Greg grew up and got the ability to buy and fly his own airplane, well, you can see it here, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of you. This is Greg Collier and AceMaker Air Shows. Now, airshow fans, if you haven't gotten that perfect picture of this beautiful T-33, hope you can appreciate the history and the legacy that it represents. And we're so honored to have Greg Collier bring it to us here today at AirVenture 2025 on our first day of a wonderful week ahead. You know, get your cameras out. If you don't have that memory yet, this will be your best opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, from the right, this is Greg Collier. Come on, Oshkosh, how about that? Let's give it up for Mr. Greg Collier right there. Yeah, absolutely. And the song you're hearing, custom adjustment to a very popular song that you might know. This is Air Show Hero. The lyrics adjusted specifically by the composers of this song, just for Greg and AceMaker Air Shows. Here he is from the left. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for Greg Collier's performance here today. He will circle back around to land in front of you on runway 36. But it's been his honor to be here as part of EAA AirVenture 2025. Greg Collier, call sign Wired, the Ace Maker Air Show's T-33 shooting star. History coming to you, so you don't have to go to a museum and see it sit in, not in motion, but with dust gathering on it. Greg is so honored to bring this historic aircraft to you here, ladies and gentlemen, as he's going to come from your right to your left, landing the aircraft. So Brittany and Luke, as Greg wraps up and lands here in just a minute, we've got more in store. We're not near done yet, right?
We have a lot more action in just a moment. You see Bob Carlton out front in an incredible plane, a jet sailplane, not one, but 2 engines on it. After that, we're gonna take to Titan, followed up by Red Line Father and Son team, and wrapping things up with your United States Air Force F-22 demo, along with one of my favorites, the Heritage flight with the P-51.
And Brittany, for those along the front row, if you hadn't noticed, all of our performers do a track down the front, and Bill Stein is to the right of show center, waving at the crowd. So as you see our performers come by, they love to interact with you. Be sure to wave and say hello.
We call that a clap lap.
That's right, clap laps,
clap
there
lap.
we go.
So be sure, Bill Stein's working his way down the line to the right. Be sure to give him a big wave. And of course, Greg Wired Collier will be coming down the line as well. Take a look at the T-33. You can see that the canopy is actually open just a little bit. They found out that, you know, we talk a lot about aerodynamic braking, you know, the case for us to keep as much energy on the main gear and using the wings to help slow you down. Actually, for the T-33 is an airplane that you can actually open the canopy. It's rated for that, essentially operating as a big, massive air brake. In just a couple of moments, we are about to change up the pace as we turn things over to Bob Carlton and the Foxjet twin jet engine to sailplane. And Brittany, that sounds like an oxymoron to me. He makes a glider not glide, but we're going to see in this next performance 2 different modes of flight. You can hear him taxiing out now in front of us, and he is on the takeoff roll.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, 20 years before the Wright brothers invented the airplane, aviators were successfully piloting and soaring in aircraft. Emulating the bird's ability to rise in air currents, they began man's adventure in flight. With no other launch method available, they launched their frail aircrafts from ridges and hills. The need to launch from elevated terrain or be towed aloft has long been the nemesis of sailplane flying, but no longer. Bob Carlton has mounted not 1, but 2 jet engines to his Fox jet sailplane that allow him to not only launch his aircraft, but also do amazing high-speed, low-level aerobatics. Now, folks, please know, not only is he a pilot, but he is a retired rocket scientist. So he has some fun creating new air show routines with unique aircraft. For his first act, he's going to climb right now to 2,000 feet and then reduce the jet engine to an idle for classic silent sailplane aerobatic demonstration. Listen for the roar of the twin jet engines, followed by just a rush of wind over his wings. In just a moment, we will start the aerial ballet. Coming to us from New Mexico with flying for over 40 years, high above Show Center. Now sit back and enjoy. Bob will now reposition the Fox jet for a demonstration of low-level aerobatics. Listen as the jet engine spool up, approaching the 360 coming out in front of us, coming back around. He is going to take the Fox jet over 175 miles per hour. The Fox jet is the only sailplane in the world capable of such a high-speed, low-level aerobatic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Carlton and the Fox jet twin-engine sailplane. Bob Carlton is truly a master of his craft. He has won the 2017 Art Showmanship Award by ICAST, the 2016 Chairman's Award presented by the Soaring Society of America, 2015 Bill Barber Award for Showmanship, and again, 30th year as a professional air show performer. Performing my favorite maneuver, a hammerhead far to the left as the smoke continues to roll off. The Fox jet, twin jet sailplane coming back in. Not only does he fly the sailplanes, he flies hang gliders, power planes, helicopters, and is also a licensed skydiver. The Cuban 8, the figure 8 in the sky. This is Bob's 10th sailplane. If you were in EAA Oshkosh a few years ago, you may have seen the jet sailplane, but that again was a single jet. And we know Bob, as a retired rocket scientist, having fun tinkering on the sailplanes. He thought, if I can do one, I can do two. Now take a look at this flying upside down, coming back over the crowd, give him a wave. The Fox jet, twin jet sailplane, Bob Carlton, hanging upside down. Bob would like to say a special thank you to his sponsors, PBS Czech Republic. PBS has been making military-grade hardware for decades. The TJ100 is fully computer-controlled and operated. It weighs 40 pounds and puts out an incredible 250 pounds of thrust. Thank you to MM Fabrication, Softy Parachutes, LX Nav, and to, of course, the ground, the crew chief, Lori, walking out there, getting ready as Bob sets up for landing. You will see Lori go out there as part of the performance to help catch the wingtip on the sailplane. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of Bob Carlton in the Fox Jet twin jet sailplane? Give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Bob. And if you look to your left or right, you'll see not one, not two, but three airplanes coming in. They are the multiple award-winning Titan Aerobatic Team. Sponsored by Titan Aviation Fuel, Aero LEDs, AC Air Technology, AFC 50, Aero LEDs, Aircraft Spruce, Aspen Avionics, Auric Avionics, Bose, Champion Aerospace, Clinton Body Shop, John's 360 Coating, Concord Battery, FlightHelmet.com, ForFlight, Hartzell Engine Technologies, Higher Power Hydraulic Doors, Hooker Custom Harnesses, ICOM America, Jeppesen, JPI, Kimmel Aviation Insurance, Lincoln Electric, LP Aeroplastics, Mid-Continent Instruments Incorporated, Peregrine Parachute and Defense, PS Engineering, Raptco, Warrior Bonfire Program, Yunkin Aircraft, and Les Thistle Enterprises. Here comes the team now. Music, maestro, please. Now, team leader is Jimmy Fordham. He came up to me a couple of acts ago and says, Danny, we have an opening maneuver we're going to do that's only for Oshkosh. All right, team leader Jimmy Fordham calls for the pole now. You have seen this maneuver as they're opening. It is the big Oshkosh loop, the big O in the sky. But what they're going to do for Oshkosh is duplicate that with a second one that we will call Outstanding. And this is an Oshkosh specialty from the team. Recipients of the Bill Barber Award for Showmanship and the Art Scholl Showmanship Award. I call these guys the happiness boys. Wherever they go, it's a lot of fun. The machines they're flying are about 5,000 to 5,500 pounds of weight. 1930s technology, heavy on the stick. These are all big boys from the South. But when they're in that airplane, they are wrestling the controls. It looks so easy. Now, from the V formation, I'll introduce the team. It's Jimmy Fordham in the lead, out in front. On the far side, Steve Gustafson. The airplane closest to us, Brian Reagan, as they execute the V formation barrel roll. Holding that formation, changing direction, changing altitude, changing heading, and changing speed. Not easy to do in that aircraft. As you can hear the roar of the Pratt & Whitney engines. They very quickly come around. A multiple award-winning team brought to you by Titan Fuels. And they're going to be coming back and doing a very special dedication salute. As you can see, they're proceeding high and to our right, heading downhill to pick up speed for the next maneuver. Team leader says, roll it out. Get ready to push on the stick now. Now, this is dedicated to the veterans in the audience. This is called Titan Aerobatic Team Veterans Downbirds Salute. Calls for the right turn. Jimmy Fordham calls for the pull to stick now. As they get on the top, we'll listen for ready, smoke now. And now get ready for ready, ready, break. The veterans, downward, bomb burst salute. Veterans, just for you. Steve Gustafson to your left. Brian Reagan to your right. Jimmy Fordham out in the middle. The wingman high and to your left is Steve. High and to your right, it's Brian. They're going to be coming back in and doing the triple cross. They'll be closing at a closure rate of about 360 miles per hour. They'll cross on the bottom once. Into the loop, they'll call contact when they see one another. And the double cross. And now changing direction and going away from the crowd for the triple cross. As they thunder away. Look high in the sky for Jimmy Fordham. He's got the lights on. He's got the smoke on from your right. This is Jimmy Fordham's maneuver we call the tall tail loop. Straight up into the sky in that advanced trainer. He holds it, the caps it off on top. The tail is tall. And the loop is complete. Now the mark of a good team after they have got into the opposing maneuvers is to get back in formation again. So you watch for Jimmy Fordham as I reintroduce the team for you. From your left, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fordham from Monroe, Louisiana. Steve Gustafson from Tallulah, Louisiana. Brian Reagan from Lafayette, Louisiana. And that's what I like about the South. Oh, the Happiness Boys are on fire for Oshkosh. Now the mark of a good team again is the quick rejoin. Not only the rejoin, but turning around to get the aircraft back into show center. Now high and to your right, team back in the V formation. As they come back around, they're going to show you what they call the bottom side tight photo pass. And these massive aircraft with ancient technology, not taking anything away from the aircraft. It's an outstanding machine, but man, it is heavy on the controls. The Titan team makes it look easy. As they come back in and do that bottom side pass, watch the clearance of the wingtips and the fuselage. That is precision flying. Give the team a big round of applause, but they are not finished yet. You know, there is a Junior Titans Club for all you young kids, Junior Titans and Titanettes. And the motto of the team is, you must be friendly, courageous, resourceful, and fair. Now as the RPM increases on the 600 horsepower engine, the airplane they call the Mosquito in the Korean War because of that sound. Bottom side pass. Part of the reason of the team's success and their award of the 2 showmanship awards in our air show business is the fact that we do a lot of nighttime shows. There was always a period of not quite light and not quite dark where we couldn't fly. We had to hold off for one or the other. This team came up with an act called Twilight Time to fill that void. Makes it look like they have afterburners on the engine, with the lights and the smoke in twilight. Another reason for their awards. Now watch Jimmy come down. I don't know if he's going to do this or not. Sometimes he tries to fool the teammates. Yeah, he's going to do it. Fordham pulls out. Brian says, where are you going? Wait for me. And then Steve, he's holding everybody. Wait up. So that puts him in the in-trail position. Now again, great fun with the team wherever they travel to. They tell stories on one another, and they even fess up to some of their own stories, and it's always a hoot. Guys that take their flying seriously, but don't take themselves seriously. So here's the next maneuver. It's called the clock. In that intro position, they're going to draw a big circle in the sky. That's the face of the clock. One of the team members will be the hour hand, the other one will be the minute hand, and the third one will be the second hand. So what would you call this maneuver? Time flies. with some fun from the team. Now quickly maneuvering, gaining altitude, changing direction after they clock loop. They'll be in the in trail. That is, follow the leader into the barrel roll and a half Cuban 8 turnaround. Now a little bit of sleight of hand from the team as they get ready to put the gear up for the landing. As they're upside down without looking, the hand goes down to the gear handle and the gear goes to the up position because they're upside down. But right side up, the gear is down and locked and green lights everywhere. Still more air show to come with a great variety as well. Redline Aerobatics will be taken to the air after we clear the Titan Aerobatic team. And then I saw some buddies here. Brady Pummel from the F-22 Raptor team. We've been on the road a little bit with his colleague. We're going to fly the F-22, and we're going to fly the F-22 and a P-51 in flight. So stick around. Still a lot of entertainment to go and a lot of variety as well.
Another big round of applause, everybody, for the award-winning Titan Aerobatic team, the recipients of both the Bill Barber Award for Showmanship and the Art Show Memorial Showmanship Award. They have also been introduced and inducted into the ICAS Hall of Fame. They're going to recover out there on runway 36 as our action continues, and we prepare for our next aerial performer as part of our show as we welcome an airplane that truly exemplifies a lot of the great qualities that EAA pursues day in and day out. And I'm talking about the Vans RV-8, today flown by Ken Reeder from Redline Air Shows in Cincinnati, Ohio. RVs, they don't stand for recreational vehicle, but they very well could be. Designed and built by a guy named Richard Van Groesven, they stand in as the most popular home-built experimental aircraft in the world. Their music starts now as Ken Reeder works his way inbound for this low-level performance in one of the world's most impressive and prevalent experimental home-built aircraft. It's the RV-8. With more than 11,000 of these aircraft now on the registry, the Vans RV series of airplanes goes down in history as one of the most popular home-built aircraft of all time. Ken Reeder from Cincinnati, Ohio, flying this RV-8. He's a guy who has built several of these airplanes over the years, and along with his son, Austin, fly often not only as a single ship, but also as a two-ship with Team Redline. Their motto, Redline, it's not the limit, it's the goal. As we watch Ken now from the inverted position, high and to the right, showcasing off the great maneuverability of this two-seat experimental airplane. Diving in again from the right, Ken Reeder, who has accumulated more than 10,000 hours of flight time, comes by for a great aileron roll there at Show Center and continues to showcase to us the great flying characteristics of this, the Vans RV-8. first Vans RV-1 flying back in 1965. And since that time, these aircraft, originally designed by Richard Van Grusen up in Oregon, we're now up to, I think it's the Vans RV-15. There are all sorts of different kinds. And for those of you who aren't familiar with them, all of these aircraft often get their start in a hangar or a garage someplace. There's even a story of a guy who started his project on his kitchen table. Ken has accumulated, as I mentioned, more than 10,000 hours of flying time. Today stands in as not only a professional air show pilot, but also that of a commercial pilot flying for a major airline. He's the owner of a construction business from the Cincinnati, Ohio area. And as I mentioned to you, has flown several of these Vans RV aircraft over the years. To the inverted position now, hanging by his seatbelts and shoulder harnesses. Watch for that negative G. It's an RV-8, but it almost looks like some of the high-performance monoplanes we've got in our show. Very impressive indeed. Ken Reeder, also a nighttime aerial performer. We'll get the chance to see him fly as part of our pyrotechnic finale both Wednesday and Saturday night as he dives in again low and to the left. He'll complete the big Barnstormers loop right at show center, extending to the left-hand side. Watch for that repositioning turn as he now wings overs it back in towards the center of our aerobatic airspace. This airplane has quite a tremendous roll rate, and of course the RV-8 version, that forward and back cockpit, almost flies like a fighter. It gives Ken the ability to, well, not only have a whole lot of fun, but do it on a budget as well. These airplanes so incredibly economical, and in some cases burn less gas than my economy car at home. Redline Air Shows would like to thank Hartzell Propeller, built on honor since 1917, as well as to Champion Aerospace. They want to say thanks to Earth X Batteries, Flight Line Interiors, Hooker Harness, X-Fairings, etc., JB Engine Service, to Wheelan Aerospace Technologies, Oregon Aero, Stein Air, Avstar, and to Dream Wraps of Cincinnati, Ohio. That completes his performance for us here at AirVenture 2025. How about a nice round of applause, everybody, for Ken Reeder and the Vans RV-8. Well, it's Monday at AirVenture. Are y'all having a good time? Steve Buss, Rob Lowe, that was pretty awesome, but we can do a little bit better than that. Want to try it? Should we try it one more time? So
I think we should. Look, let's see if, I don't know how anybody could have slept through Ken's routine, but maybe folks are just a little tired out there. Let's try it again.
Let's try it one more time. Oshkosh, you having a good time?
There we go.
Good job.
Well, coming up next, I'm not sure if your yells will get through. It's going to be the F-22 Raptor demonstration team from Air Combat Command and the first fighter wing based at Joint Base Langley Eustis in Hampton Roads, Virginia. In just a moment, we are about to welcome the F-22, today flown by Captain Nick Letourneau. His call sign is Laz, an experienced fighter pilot having accumulated over 750 hours flying aircraft such as the T-6 Texan II, the T-38 Talon, and the F-22 Raptor since he began his Air Force career back in 2018. Today, he's the commander and pilot of the F-22 Raptor demonstration team. And on top of the F-22 demonstration we're about to witness, we will also get the chance to culminate our show with the United States Air Force Heritage Flight. And if you take a look to the right, you will see taxiing out there onto runway 36 left, the North American P-51 Mustang. It's today flown by Bruce Winters. His call sign is Doc. This is the airplane that, of course, goes down in history as being the airplane that, well, might be as American as apple pie and baseball. Designed and built in just 117 days from pen on paper to a flying prototype, it was the P-51 Mustang that helped escort those B-17s and B-24s deep into enemy territory during World War II in the European theater of operations. And after its introduction in 1944, helped reduce casualty rates by nearly 75%, earning the Mustang the nickname Little Friend. It's also an aircraft that was indeed flown by the famed Tuskegee Airmen and even further on in the Korean War as well. Right now, we are checking in with the Air Boss team. We are just a couple of seconds away from turning things over for the launch of the P-51, our F-22 Raptor demonstration, and our U.S. Air Force Heritage Flight coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time. The next voice that you will hear will be the narrator for the F-22 demonstration team, and he is Master Sergeant Brady Pummel.
God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of your United States Air Force, the commander of Air Combat Command, General Ken Wilsbach, and all the men and women of Air Combat Command, we welcome you to today's F-22 demonstration. I'm F-22 Demonstration Team Superintendent Master Sergeant Brady Pummel from Kansas City, Kansas. As a proud member of Air Combat Command's 1st Fighter Wing located at Langley Air Force Base in Hampton, Virginia, it is my distinct pleasure to describe for you today a capability demonstration by the most technologically advanced 5th-generation stealth fighter aircraft in the world. The F-22 Raptor's mission is air dominance. It supports our joint forces and allies to freely operate in today's joint fight, anytime, anywhere. And now, introducing your 2025 F-22 demonstration team. From Gary, Indiana, Dedicated Crew Chief, Technical Sergeant Jared Cool. From Hampton, Virginia, Assistant Dedicated Crew Chief, Senior Airman Andrew Leitner. From Newburgh, Oregon, Avionics Technician, Senior Airman Gavin Gonzalez. From St. Petersburg, Florida, Avionics Technician, Senior Airman Nick Wisnowski. From Raven, Georgia, AFE Specialist, Staff Sergeant Tessa Hickerson. From Canastito, New York, Public Affairs Officer, Staff Sergeant Lauren Coben. From Richmond, Virginia, F-22 Demo Team Chief, Technical Sergeant Eric Tallman. And your 2025 F-22 demonstration fighter pilot with more than 600 hours flying the F-22 Raptor, from New York Mills, Minnesota, Captain Nicholas Laz Letourneau. You are about to witness the maneuvering capabilities of the most advanced and most lethal fighter aircraft in your United States Air Force. The F-22 you will see today is an unmodified and fully combat-capable aircraft. While we can't show you everything that makes the Raptor the most lethal fighter aircraft in the world, we will show you its raw power and thrust-vectored maneuvering as it capabilities as it executes maneuvers that no other fighter aircraft in the world can perform. As today's demonstration begins, from your right, you will see the Raptor execute a maximum power takeoff, producing 70,000 pounds of thrust from its powerful F-119 engines. The Raptor will virtually leap off the runway in an amazing 1,000 feet. In the climb, Captain Letourneau will quickly push the nose of the aircraft over, accelerate forward.
Double control, Raptor 1 is cleared for takeoff. This one full out. Fly good, don't suck.
So now it's time to stand up, move forward, and get ready. The show is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most feared aircraft in the world today, your United States Air Force's F-22 Raptor. Watch from the right as the Raptor demonstrates its tight turn capability with a mid-radius horizontal turn, then power straight up into the vertical. Firepower of the Raptor comes in any combination of 8 missiles and up to 8 precision satellite-guided bombs. The F-22 is the first supersonic, multi-role, and highly agile stealth fighter in the world with a fully internal combat weapons load. Ready your cameras, the Raptor banks it from the left and cycles its weapons bay doors. We would like to dedicate this next pass to Mr. Rob Holland. Rob was one of the most accomplished aerobatic performers of all time and a stand-up member of the airshow community. His humility, charm, and genuine enthusiasm for the people and planes of the aviation world made him a beloved icon and a close friend. Rob was a national aerobatic champion for 13 consecutive years with over 37 international medals. He has inspired millions around the globe. Our hearts are with his family as we honor him today. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of Rob Holland, the F-22 Raptor Demo proudly presents the Dedication Pass. The F-22's slow-speed handling characteristics are phenomenal. Watch now as Captain Turtle repositions the aircraft to crowd right, reduces the power down, slowing the Raptor down to less than 90 knots and loads up on high angles of attack. After the pass, you'll once again feel the raw power of the jet as Captain Turtle lights those afterburners and climbs straight into the vertical. Well, ladies and gentlemen, from the right, the Raptor slow speed pass.
A lot of things have changed for me. This is the life you wanted. This is the life you dreamed. This is the way your life is supposed to be. This is the life you wanted. This is the life you dreamed. This is the way your life is supposed to be.
The F-22 possesses the capability to reach speeds and altitudes that make it out using its afterburners. Accelerating from 90 knots to over 600, Captain Turtle will now roll inverted in preparation for the split-ass reposition and high-speed pass, showcasing just a fraction of the aircraft's super cruise and full-speed capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for Freedom's Thunder on the high-speed pass. The F-22 will now set up to perform a Hoover pitch. This maneuver is a double knife edge separated by an inverted tuck, followed by a pitch to line up in preparation for heritage flight. This will be another great opportunity to catch the Raptor on your camera during our demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, named after the late legendary Bob Hoover, the Raptors Hoover pitch. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a moment to describe the unique history of what you are about to watch. In 1997, the leaders of Air Combat Command assembled a select group of retired military and civilian performers to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the United States Air Force. In 2010, the Air Force Heritage Flight Foundation joined with the United States Air Force to keep this popular program flying. From this gathering was born the Heritage Flight, a unique visual representation of Air Force history from the days of the Army Air Corps to the present. What started as a one-time event has grown in popularity and demand, and now heritage flights are performed at air shows and special events in the United States and around the world. Please turn with me now and watch as this rare formation approaches from behind and to the right.
Keep them flying, keep them flying.
Flying in formation today is a World War II era P-51, piloted by Bruce Doc Winters, and a United States Air Force F-22, piloted by Captain Nicholas Laz Letourneau. We would like to dedicate today's Heritage Flight to all the military veterans in attendance whose sacrifices over the years helped preserve America's freedom. We hope you enjoy watching this rare formation of classic and current United States Air Force aircraft on our journey from heritage to horizons. Ladies and gentlemen, your United States Air Force Heritage Flight. We hope you enjoyed watching and taking pride in this rare display of more than 80 years of air power heritage. Oshkosh, who wants one more from the Raptor? Last gonna bring it around for a tack pitch. Cover your ears because it's about to get loud. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's demonstration. We hope you enjoyed this brief display of only a fraction of the F-22's full combat capability. On behalf of the United States Air Force, the Commander of Air Combat Command, General Ken Wilsbach, and all the men and women of Air Combat Command, thank you for your attendance, thank you for your patriotism, and thank you for your support. Raptors out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it all the way up and down the line for your United States Air Force in the F-22 Raptor demonstration. And let that extend as well to the narrator of today's demo, Master Sergeant Brady Pummel, and the official Raptor DJ, Technical Sergeant Eric Tallman. Thank you, gentlemen, very, very much indeed. Well, as Captain Letourneau touches down, that marks the completion of our Monday activities here at AirVenture 2025.
That's right. That's going to take care of the daily air show, but that's not all the activities that are happening tonight on the grounds. Rob Lowe, you are going to be down at the Fun Fly Zone for the Flight Fest. What are we going to see tonight?
Yeah, Twilight Flight Fest tonight, Steve, is going to start at 8 o'clock. Come see us. We've got the STOL aircraft. They're going to do all kinds of really great stuff down there this year. We've got the Misty Blues jumping in later today. We've got RC airplanes. We got so much more. Come see us 8 o'clock at the Ultralight Field.
All right, and there's a balloon glow at 8:45 approximately, if weather conditions are good. That'll be out here on the taxiway, so that happens as well. Now, if you'd like to sit back and relax, you can go to Theater in the Woods tonight. It's an evening of families and historians who are working to tell the stories of those who have made aviation history. That starts tonight at 7 o'clock at Theater in the Woods, which is sponsored by M&M's. And if you are in the mood for some popcorn, you can go to the EAA Fly-In Theater, presented by Lightcombing. Tonight, two very special features. Number one, Icon in the Sky. It is the debut showing of Icon in the Sky. It is about the Goodyear airships that you will see here at AirVenture. It's a documentary, and some folks from Goodyear are going to talk about that very special documentary. And we get to see it first here at Oshkosh. And right after that, we have William Wyler's World War II color feature Thunderbolt, taking you inside a P-47 Thunderbolt squadron, flying daring missions during World War II. Luke, anything you'd like to add before we wrap things up tonight?
Well, hey, I want to say thanks to everybody for coming out and enjoying this great opening day here at AirVenture. It's something we put the countdown clock on each and every year. It's great to be back. Great to see so many of you here with us. And it's the beginning of the week. We're just getting started.
Happy Monday, everyone. We will be back again tomorrow. Again, don't forget to share those moments, those memories, the videos and pictures with us here at EAA AirVenture. Hashtag us, show us some love, and to our sponsors.
Hey,
Brittany,
thanks.
our daily air show sponsor, Daher. We're so excited to have them here with us, and so many more. And Steve, it's been a great day all the way around.
It certainly has. We will do it all again tomorrow, starting at 2:15 tomorrow afternoon. So y'all come back and see us, and do us one small favor on your way out. If you see any trash laying around on the grounds, and from where I'm standing, I don't see much of anything. But if you do see something, remember Oshkosh rules apply. EAA founder Paul Poberizny was a stickler for cleanliness, and he was very proud of all EAA members when he'd see them pick up trash and put it in the proper container. So please do us a favor and take care of any trash you might see around. Even if it's not yours, we do appreciate it, and especially our volunteers appreciate it, because they don't have to do it first thing in the morning. Until next time, I'm Steve Buss for the entire announce team, including Danny Clisham. Have yourself a great night. Drive carefully. We'll see you tomorrow.